You're listening to Agile Ideas, the podcast, hosted by Fatima Abuchi. For anyone listening out there not having a good day, please know there is help out there.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Agile Ideas. I'm Fatima, CEO at Agile Management Office, Mental Health Ambassador, and your host. This podcast is made possible thanks to Agile Management Office. We help businesses in three key ways: improving organization culture and delivery, supporting transformation and change, and streamlining governance and process, using 20 years of proven practice and the AMO way model. In today's episode, I'm going to be asking the question, is it okay not to be okay? We often say that it's okay not to be okay, but what does that really mean? Some people might think that that's a defeatist statement, or that we mean it's okay to give up. It could be open to interpretation. But in our case, we want people to know that it's okay to admit you have problems and to get help. So here is how I see it. Good health is more than physical. There's no denying that taking care of your physical health is essential. You need to eat right, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep, among many other things. And most of us are pretty good at doing those things, or at the very least, we know that they're important and that we should be taking care of ourselves. But good health is more than just physical. Feeling depressed or anxious can make it a lot harder to make healthy choices. Not only that, but it often leads people to make bad choices in the form of self-medicating with substances or something else. So you cannot have a healthy lifestyle if you ignore your mental health. Additionally, there's still too much stigma. One of the biggest reasons many people don't seek help when they are struggling with mental health is that there is still a tremendous amount of stigma attached to admitting that you are struggling. If you broke a limb, had an autoimmune disease, or even needed help losing weight, you would not hesitate to go to your doctor for help. You'd be quite happy to take medication and make lifestyle changes to cope with those kinds of physical problems. And no one would think any worse of you for doing it. But if you were to do the same with a mental health problem, you'd probably still have to deal with ignorance and disapproval from some people. Unfortunately, for the longest time, many people have felt that you can tough it out and that cowboys don't cry. None of those things are true, though. When you need help, whether it's a fever or it's depression. Unfortunately, I've seen many instances in the time that I've been volunteering with Beyond Blue of examples of times where people wish they'd seeked out help earlier, but were afraid to do so because of judgment from family members or from a partner. I've had people make fun of me with my own personal experiences with anxiety. I have seen in the corporate office workplace, people make fun of people who needed time away from work to understand and recover from depression. And because they spent some time away in a remote location, beachside, they were judged and made fun of. Unfortunately, these are still things that happen, and there's still too much stigma around mental health. So why do we say it's okay not to be okay? When we say it's okay not to be okay, we're not advocating that people keep hiding or ignoring their mental health and emotional struggles. We're saying that it's okay to admit you're struggling, and it's perfectly okay to seek help for them. It's okay not to be strong and to tell someone you trust that you're not doing well. It's okay to get a prescription for medication that will help you cope if that's what your doctor recommends. And it's okay to speak to a therapist or a counselor if you need to. No one should ever feel like they have to hide their pain or struggles or pretend they don't exist simply because they're afraid of what people might think. It's okay to need some help from time to time, and it's more than okay to get it when you do. I spent a really long time in my corporate career hiding the fact that I had anxiety for fear of judgment and for fear that it would stop me from being able to climb the corporate ladder and seek and accept new opportunities. We need to normalize mental health support. The truth is, most people will struggle with their mental or emotional health at some point in their lives. Sometimes it's a big life-changing event like having a baby or going through a divorce. Sometimes it's just your brain chemistry that's a little bit different. Whatever it is, there's absolutely no shame in admitting there's a problem and that you're not okay. In fact, it takes a lot more courage to admit you are not okay and seek help for the problem than it does to hide it and pretend it's not happening. Sometimes you can't do it alone. Many people believe that they should be able to handle their own mental health and emotions all on their own, that they should be able to talk themselves into being okay, and that they can keep doing what they have always done no matter what. However, the truth is that mental and emotional health is just like physical health, although it's invisible. In most cases, pretending there is no problem won't make it go away. It'll only compound it until it starts to affect your relationships, your work, and more. When you are trapped in a spiral of poor mental and emotional health, it's hard to see a way out on your own. And this is why so many people need help from professionals. So when we say it's okay not to be okay, we're not saying you have to keep living with not being okay. We're saying that there is help available and that it's okay to admit you need it. No one will judge you for needing help. And if they do, they're not the kind of people you need around you right now anyway. So reach out to people, talk to someone, tell them how you're feeling, and start working towards better mental and emotional health. Emotional health and physical health are equally as important. And sometimes we assume that one is more important than the other. And I know that through my own time spending considerable amount of time with people that have suffered from mental health and also with people in my immediate family, that a lot of the time you may not even realize that you're struggling with something or that you have some issues underlying. And it's really important to think about how you can improve the quality of your life. Remembering that when we think about recovery in mental health, recovery means different things to different people. Sometimes recovery might be as simple as being able to leave your house. I've known people that because of their challenges around mental health have struggled to leave their house. I know other people that for a really long time found it really difficult to drive any further than 5 minutes away from their homes. I've known people that have struggled so much they've had to quit their work. Other people that have struggled so much that have caused challenges and a divide in their families. Unfortunately, we all have our own challenges, and even though you may not see them because a lot of the times mental health related challenges are invisible, they're just as important to get attention to the problem so that you can recover and live a normal, happy life, whatever that normal is to you. Unfortunately, sometimes people wait a really long time to seek help. And I know that the saying goes better late than never, and that is true. But the sooner that you can seek help, the better off you will be, and the sooner you'll be able to live a more comfortable life. Unfortunately, thinking about mental health has been a big part of my life for the fact that I've had to deal with that, not only for my own personal challenges, but also those of many of my family members. And so I've made it my mission to help reduce the stigma associated with mental health. And to do so, I have launched my own not-for-profit called Return of the Panda. Return of the Panda is all about helping to be a role model for those that might be in a similar position to the position that I've been in, and that is climbing the corporate ladder and living a busy professional and business life as well, and dealing with all the challenges that come with it. Now, unfortunately, mental health is going to continue to have a stigma around it, but the more leaders like us can step up and say that it's okay not to be okay and be there to support each other, the more chance that we'll be able to reduce the stigma together. So hopefully I've helped you to feel inspired to take action for your own mental health if you are too struggling with anything in your life. We all have them. And we always need to make time for them. Just like you make time for the gym, we need to exercise health for our minds as well so that we can be healthy and happy for our families, for our friends, for our loved ones. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that this has been helpful for you or for someone you know. And if it has, please do share it. I look forward to any feedback that you have.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please share this with someone or rate it if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and to stay up to date with all things Agile ideas, go to our website www.agilemanagementoffice.com. agile.com. I hope you've been able to learn, feel, or be inspired today. Until next time, what's your Agile idea?